Testing. Testing. All right. Looks like we're live. Aloha, everyone. Today, I didn't realize it was related to yesterday. Yesterday was you are a grain of sand, but today we are wandering the desert. So, what do you think? Shall we get started? Thinking we'll be at a slower tempo, though we've been doing a lot of slow to mid-tempo type jams recently. Something like that. Oh, there we go. Let's use this salutations, salutations, bonch. That's a tongue twister, especially, well, it's 9 a.m., so I have no excuse. All right, let's go ahead and get all of this to about 80. This is the kind of vibe I'm looking for. Let's see. Let me put on my metronome, make sure we're okay. Okay. So yeah, let's start off with the drums today. So let's also change up our kit a bit. Yeah, something like that. Let's see that little 909. I'm also going to maybe record some of this. Just some of that panning on the hi-hat. Okay, so we're just gonna keep this going. Okay, this is what we'll do. Let's record in. Yeah, I think we'll use this drone sound right here. And I'm just gonna increase the brightness here on rings. You'll notice it's slowly coming in. That was a little too quick, but it's okay. So right now this is just plats going into rings. I think I'm gonna take off some of those hi-hats, or at least the open hat. In fact, let me do that now. Okay. I think we can start. There we go. fade out. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this back. I'm going to maybe I'll unpatch this and we can maybe use this isn't coming in. Let's see. There we go. Let's bring in some of these sounds. That gives it kind of that epic feel. Just using the BIA here. And it's just some subtle hits. Gives it that industrial sound. Maybe a little too spacey for a jam that we're supposed to be wandering the desert. One last one. Oh, interesting. So this actually is making a lot of noise. Just couldn't hear it. Okay, so what I might do, might filter out some of the low end. Look at all that low end. That's what I couldn't hear. We're not in the right key. In fact, I don't even know what key we're in. But I like this. It kind of sounds like desert winds or something a little mysterious. I'm thinking that we should also add an EQ to this drone. There's a lot of low end, but maybe just cut out the very, very low. Alright, let's figure out what key we're in. Okay, that doing it on the push isn't the best idea. We're in C sharp or D flat. Let's stick with the well, let's try something. Let's try maybe an exotic, like a 8-tone Spanish. Bayrov. Really cool scale. Okay, let's record this in. We gotta change the timing up. I think we're good. Let's close this up. Alright, so we got a little bit of a backdrop here. Oh, I didn't even realize that. You know, when we're playing everything at the same time, it's hard to even know what my delay is doing. In fact, we might only be able to use some of this Oh yeah, this is where I started upping the delay. Yeah, this is all delay. So I kind of messed up on that part. I'm thinking maybe you can't even use that other part. So let's go ahead and simply use this arpeggio and we'll loop it. You always re-record, but let's make do with what we have. Adding an Ableton Live echo. Yeah, that's fine. Add a little bit of reverb as well. Oh yeah, okay, this sounded pretty cool. Sounds like one of those 80s workplace videos. Okay, let's use this sound. Oh yeah. This is like a synthesized string instrument. But I like how it's panning. If you have headphones on, you can hear every other note panning. I'm liking that feel. So let's do that. Let's stay a little bit higher in the register spectrum compared to that mode. Let's see what we got here. You know, I'm thinking it might be too high. Oh, I know. All this has to get over. So. It's kind of clashing with our mode. I wonder. Maybe something a little more dreamy like that? Let's see. Add some distortion and some detuning. What do you think? Hey, good morning, Devencio. Yeah, and this kind of gives it more of a distinction between the... Maybe this can go up and off. Too much detuning. Alright, let's record that in. And I just added a faster, I added the arpeggio on there. Well, let's see what happens. Maybe we will... No, we're going to keep it at this lower register so it doesn't clash with the Moog arpeggio. There we go. Little mistake there, but I just call it personality. All right, so a little distorted lead over here. Turn that one off. I think we're just gonna have a nice, steady bass line. Maybe we can even just, maybe we'll do something like that. Okay. Okay, let's record this in. Okay, it's just something simple. Ooh, yeah, let's add some acid juice to this. Thinking maybe we can start here, and then we can figure out the right place to loop. Let's just make sure that it's at a... see that we've got some it's funny how the push will actually still register some of the shorter notes. This is 1 bar. Okay, perfect. So this will have to be over here. Makes it easier. Let's go ahead and start right here. The rest, let's move this over. And then what we can do is actually, let's see how this sounds. And then, yeah, we're going to shorten these notes as well. Yeah, that's what we'll do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's crop this clip. And let's also shorten all these notes. Oops. Ah, but we should save. Here's the only other thing. Oh yeah, we'll have a little saw triangle wave baseline action. Let's just see how this is gonna work. And then you're right, let's bring in some acid. Okay. Look at that waveform. Okay. Here we go. Not gonna mess around with this baseline too much because it's pretty basic. Although we can add, I'm gonna add some width to it. The learning curve is, it's not too bad. I just have not gone through the manual yet. Things got kind of busy for me. So like after I do these things, then I'm doing a bunch of work. So, but I will eventually get to that, the cyclone. But yeah, let's bring it in. But what I'm gonna do, rather than try and figure things out on the fly on how it actually works without reading the manual, I'm gonna set it to MIDI mode, and then I'll bring in an external sequencer. So let's go ahead and do that. First, let me, I'm gonna add a little bit of, let's, just add a little bit of something. Actually, you know what we should just do is maybe just a simple chorus. So it just adds a little width and nothing too crazy. So I have a feeling we're gonna do something with more delays and fancy sounds, for the lack of a better term. So you know what's so funny? So if I use the Skinnerbox time sting on here, okay. How come this is not going? Oh, you know why? Because I think... So interesting enough, I think, and I don't know if it's something that I can do on TD3, but it's registering notes an octave below what I normally get from the TD3. I don't know if that's more true to the actual TB303, but I actually have to go up 2 octaves, and what you'll notice is that I'm not getting any accents, even though my velocity here is accented. But if I move these around, then I... Oh, wait. No, sorry. So if I go to velocity, now I actually have to move them around in the sequencer itself in order to pick up velocity. And it's more pronounced, so I'm going to bring in another sequence. So you don't hear any velocity, even though you see some velocity curves here. But as soon as I tweak them down here, then even if it's at the same setting, so rather than try to figure out that Skinnerbox times thing, I mean, I think there might be an update, so I should check that out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in that Alex Kid, because we're actually in a scale that I'm not familiar with. Bhairav, I'm not really adept at knowing how to program that scale. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the push, and I'm going to have this learn the scale. So if I press play and learn, then I can maybe press some keys within the scale. Let's try this. Okay, and now we're going to bring in some random gates. And this should be in my key. Yeah. Let's try this again. And now I'm gonna just bring all of these in as random. see. So what I'm gonna do maybe here is I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna be at this higher register up here. All right, so let's bring this in. Okay, so this is a really randomized acid line, but we've got all of the keys in that Bhairab scale program to pitch by using the Learn Notes feature in the sequencer. I know there's a similar feature within the BassBot itself. In fact, the keyboard will light up if you're in a certain mode, and you can just select the keys that you would want your acid line to be in. It's 1 octave. And then you can also transpose. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with that as soon as I figure out how to even do that. So here we go. Let's go ahead and record this in. Bring the cutoff down, resonance to about halfway, envelope mod to halfway, decay and accent also. Let's start off at 12 o'clock for all of them. And we're going to also add some delays in a little bit later, but first things first. And right now I'm kind of playing around with some of the edit features, like adding an accent. And some slides. Okay, let's bring this down. It's so, okay, I had the accent up a little too high. And you'll see that here, so we're going to go ahead and shorten that. And we'll go ahead and, yeah, we'll shorten it to there, and turn that off. Let's add some kind of extreme panning. Ping pong delay. Maybe in the more ambient. Oh. Transmitter. Let's let that. I'm gonna add a black hole reverb too. Let's get this thing washy. Actually, I take it back. Why don't we... Oh, that's crazy. Let's add some shimmer to it. So you hear some of those mistakes that I was doing by trying to tweak the slide. But I think everything gets, hey Wambra, hey Sander, hey Raiders, thank you for the raid, hey Toto Robin. We have Delenn BCO in the house as well. Been watching. How did your stream go, Sander? Why am I asking? It's always awesome, so today's theme is you are wandering the desert, and yeah, we just added in some acid sounds. We've got a little. Let's just quickly go through some of the sounds that we created. This is a little arpeggio from the Moog Matriarch. This is the drum beat we're working with right now. And well, that's what we'll work on next, just kind of getting that loop solid. We've got a little low, mid lead right here from the Prophet 6. And we got a really typical bass line from the Pro 1 with a little bit of bass chorusing on there. This is our little acid line that we just recorded from the TT303, and we added a bunch of spacey delays and reverb to it. This is what we were working with at the very beginning. This is oh, sorry. These are little hits from the Basilamus Iterus Alter, the BIA, on the modular. So it's just to add some like ambience, and it almost, some of these things sound a little bit like desert winds to me. And then finally, we've got a little drone in C# that was made using Platt's chords algorithm, going into rings. Gosh, I can't even remember the names of the resonant surfaces, but it's the orange one, the one in the middle. I think that's string, and that's going out into beats, which is adding all of that reverb. And then yeah, we had to cut out some of these lows, but it's really kind of a trippy sound that could kind of on its own be a little ambient tune, because it evolves so much. So, you know, we haven't done any mixing or anything, but I think for instrumentation, I think we're good. And so we just have to get our drum loop a little bit better or more established. I did half of the programming on the TR-8S and then half just the kick, snare, and the rim shot as a clip. So, oh my gosh, 17 viewers. How's it going, everyone? The Earth's Moon 42. Aloha from Hawaii, everyone. Well, now that I have a little bit of an audience, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a quick 15-minute presentation with the Ableton User Group Collective. So me and 3 other Ableton guys will be speaking. That's tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Hawaii time. Anyways, just a quick plug. And I don't even have a link for it yet, but on tomorrow's program or maybe on Twitter, I'll go ahead and put that link on. Okay, so let's go ahead and record this. Record what we have. Oh, no, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and add a few little hits here. Okay, not the best, but I'm gonna go ahead and record those hits into this loop and then we can space them out a little bit better. I'm gonna do that by... So what I have to do here is get MIDI from the TR-8S and overdub. Okay, there we go. We don't want to loop that. Hey, thanks for the follow. Rich. How's it going? Oh, and thanks for the follow, Lennon Duck. How are you guys doing? Red Rocks, greetings. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear these parts on the TR-8S so we don't get that little double hit. I forgot we added this open hat. I'm not a super big fan of that, so let's... Oh yeah, this is what we can do. Wait, hold on. The one thing I forgot to do is add a little ride cymbal, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay. And I'll quantize, make things easier. And yeah, let me go ahead and clear all these parts. And we'll just do some quick tweaking here in the MIDI clip. So I've got, first let me bring my MIDI back to the push. We can add a little 808 crash cymbal. Let's see what this sounds like. So we've got too many of these. This is a CR78 hi-hat. I'm going to go ahead and... Hey, Anna. How's everything going? Ooh, I like that sound as well. Maybe that can just come in. And then maybe here we have a little roll with that. Let's see how that'll sound. I like that little whoop sound. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Redlocks, what's up? Because I know Dylan VCO, just like myself, have seen lots of crashes recently. So we are in C sharp, D flat, D, and we are in Bhairav. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. We are at 117.5. I'm just going to round it up. 118. And you are, what did I say? You are wandering the desert. I think that's what I called it. So let's go ahead and save it in March 2022. And now, if we crash, because right now, I don't know if anyone else is using Live, but it seems like whenever I'm on OBS and I want to move a track, like I'm doing right now, I get a crash, but I didn't today. I changed some settings on OBS, so hopefully, and since I did that, it doesn't seem to be crashing, so hoping it's on the OBS side and that it's completely fixed. Okay, so now everyone's favorite time of the day is radio. Let's go check out what's on the radio. This is the app I turn to when I want to find some unique little vocal samples. And my favorite radio station is this AM 1710. Because what they'll do, and we'll see if they do that today, they'll usually find an old radio program that's not usually in the public domain, so you should be able to use it, or it should be fair use. Let's turn it on. And I like how what they do is they'll play old time radio programs from this day in history. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have a date.
Not by a long ways he isn't. He's telling them that we're on a tramp steamer, 300 miles out, and that we won't.
Okay, I'm gonna take this this sample right here. I don't even know what they said at the beginning, but just so we keep it. And all you have to do is select the waveform. You get a 30-second buffer, and this is just called Magic Island.
We need to fear that, John. You see, there aren't a dozen stations in the country with equipment to do that, well, even passably well. And Texas staying away from them.
And we'll just take one more.
Very, very sure of that.
I think this is going to go well with our song, even as is. I actually really like this, so let's do another 30 seconds to a minute.
Is generally circulated, we should have a good many hours of privacy before any of the Euclidean agents discover that we're in town.
That's an idea. And those hams will be excited over the story enough that they won't be worried about where it came from.
What is a ham, Jerry?
Huh? A ham?
Yes, what do you mean by a ham?
Well, a ham is an amateur radio operator. A fellow who has a radio station of his own and works it just because he likes to.
That is interesting. Are
Hey.
there many hams?
Oh, thousands of them.
Oh, yes. Jerry is a ham, aren't you?
You bet I am. You see, my dad and I have got one of the best sets in Southern California.
Come in.
All right. Perfect timing.
Come on in, Tex, and join the powwow.
I'll do that. And it looks like a powwow at that with you two all wrapped up in blankets.
Well, now, Captain Bradford, we're...
Okay. So, and I had a lot of effects on there. Obviously, we'll drag these over to a VST, but you see how easy it is to just take these clips, and now you can manipulate them as audio clips. I don't even have to have that on anymore. So I'm actually go ahead and turn off all of these so I don't accidentally introduce any noise from my really noisy inputs as of late.
He's telling them that we're on a tramp steamer.
So
Dangerous, Jerry?
Dangerous?
so this is the
Well,
dry.
To the captain's plans. He wanted to preserve an air of absolute secrecy about our landing, and I agreed
Oh.
with him that it was advisable.
Actually, no, we
now
didn't even
Jerry
want
says
this
the news
one.
is being thrown open to all.
Let's go back to that radio. I think I mislabeled one. Maybe not. I think I lost out on one clip. You can also play any of your old clips from over here. Oh. That might be off. Okay, well, that feature doesn't seem to be working right now. Okay, well. So we've got 2 clips to work with, and I think it's probably okay.
Dangerous?
Let's
What
add,
we don't
To the captain's plans. He wanted to preserve an air of absolute secrecy about our landing, and I agreed.
you know what? Let's just go ahead and bring it into, we'll bring all of this into arrangement, and then we'll manipulate those samples a little bit later. All right. So we're on the home stretch. We've got all of our parts, and now we just gotta kind of organize them into a way where we can post this onto SoundCloud as a, you know, semi-finished project.
Dangerous, Jerry?
So let's go ahead and listen to each part. We've got our drums, got our Moog. I like to label these. Matriarch, ARP space. This is our lead. Muffet, mid, low, lead. I'm gonna put the manipulated preset number 252. This is the Pro One bass line. This is our 303. That's all I need to know. 303. This is our BIA. BIA hits. And I think it's got a lot of like noise and tails in there. I didn't hear it when we were recording it. But, oh, this is kind of the backbone of our jam today is, what do we call this? Drone, modular, C#. And then, of course, we've got our samples.
Dangerous, Jerry?
Dangerous?
And let's go ahead and do that now. I'm gonna stretch this out,
Dangerous, Jerry?
Dangerous?
and we're gonna use the Beats warp mode, and we're gonna just stretch it so it gets a little spacier.
Dangerous, Jerry?
Dangerous?
In what way, Joan dear?
To the captain's plans. He wanted to preserve an air of absolute secrecy about our landing, and I agreed with him.
I want to add a little bit of those stutters also.
Dangerous, Jerry?
Dangerous?
In what way, Joan dear?
To the captain's plans. He wanted
Okay.
to preserve an air
So,
of absolute secrecy about our landing,
And now when
And
we do
I
that, we
agree
actually
with him
almost
that it
doubled
was
this
advisable.
clip.
Now Jerry says the news is
So now we've
being
got
thrown
more
open
material
all
to work
radio
with.
stations.
I didn't say
Well,
that.
that's the impression
and-
you gave, Shirley.
Well, I didn't get a
Let's add
chance
another
to
Echo
finish
Boy
what I
Jr. here.
started to say. Text is sending plenty of messages, all right.
I
And
love
some
the
of the
cheap
land
tape
stations are
algorithm
getting it.
here.
But he's not telling them the right
Dot
story.
and ping pong.
Tex is telling them we've been rescued.
Not by a long ways, he isn't.
I'm gonna
He's telling them that we're on a tramp steamer, 300 miles
little
out,
saturation.
and that we won't be in here for
And,
a couple of days yet.
That would be a very clever.
How about some? Okay, so that was that clip. A little bit of spring reverb. How about that? Okay, so let's work on this one.
He's telling them that we're on a tramp steamer, 300 miles out, and that we won't be in here for a couple of days yet.
That would be a very clever story if it were not for the fact that your land station will be able to
So-
localize those messages and know exactly where they are coming. Localize those messages and know exactly where they are coming from.
I don't believe we need to fear that, John. You see, there aren't a dozen stations in the country with equipment to do that, or even possibly well. And Tex is staying away
Okay.
from those stations. You can be
There we
very,
go.
very sure of that.
I should think that would be advisable.
And that's just what he's doing. The only stations they're talking to, and the only wavelengths they're using, are a lot of hams the captain knows. He's telling them that we're on a tramp steamer,
I'm just kind of
300 miles out,
messing with
and that
the
we won't be
warping.
in here for a couple of days yet.
I mean, we could also do things like
He's telling them that we're on a tramp.
we could also like really stretch some of these parts out. Let's see how this would sound.
He's telling them that we're on a tramp. He's telling them that we're on a tramp steamer, 300 miles out.
If it were not for the fact that your land
Okay, well that might not really work, but let's just keep it for now, and let's structure this. Okay, so maybe we don't even want the drums to come until maybe the 4th bar. Bring these out. We've been using kind of this formula where we're putting in a break at around the 24th bar. Break 1. I'm wondering if we could bring the Moog in the 8th. Our little lead won't come in until we introduce it during the break. Can also come in at 4. The 303 could come in maybe after the first break. Let's see.
Danger?
What way, John?
to the captain's plan. He wants to
Okay, so I want this drone to come in a little bit earlier.
Danger?
Oh, perfect. And now,
to the
like this
captain's
really loud
plan.
part of the drone will come in.
He wants to preserve an air of that secrecy about us.
And here, we don't want to bring everything in at the same time. Maybe just the kick and the snare. Kick, snare, and the rim shot.
Preserve an air of that secrecy about our landing. And I agree with him that it was advisable. Now, Jerry says the news is being thrown.
Actually, let's bring, we won't even bring that in until the 8th bar.
To preserve an air.
And then we could start introducing that space ARP at in an odd area. Let's see.
Preserve an air of that secrecy about our landing. And I agree with him that it was advisable.
Oh, it kind of fades in nicely.
Since the news is being thrown off radio station.
I didn't say that.
That's the impression you gave, Jerry.
Well, I didn't get a chance to finish what I started
this. And we could just kind of space these out a little bit, some of these little vocal hits.
Now, Shirley, this is used being thrown or radio station.
Let me It's a nice break right there. Let's see. Maybe the break is a little shorter here. And break. Do that. And yeah, here we go. We'll bring in this a little snare roll right here. This one, we'll have everything in here, but the open hats and our ride cymbal, which kind of are clashing. About this. Oh, and then, yeah, let's start bringing in this acid here. You could barely hear it at the beginning, so... What do you think? Hey! Mr. X, WMRX. How you doing? Okay, so we'll add 3, 2. Now just do the same. Then I'm thinking maybe we just end it right here. Yeah, perfect, because our drone ends. And let's see. Oh, thank you. How are your streams going? I pop by every so often. This one we'll let this build up a little bit more, and maybe have Oh, I know what we can do over here. We'll add in these little making sure that my master has enough headroom.
And know exactly where they are coming from.
I don't believe we need to fear that, John. You see, there aren't a dozen stations in the country with equipment to do that, or even possibly well. And Tex is staying away from those stations. You can be very, very sure of that.
I should think that would be advisable.
And that's just what
That. This one I'm going to consolidate, and then you can actually, now we could kind of,
There aren't a dozen stations in the country with equipment to do that, or even possibly well. And Tex is staying away from those stations. That, or even possibly well.
and we'll take that little hit off. And then we'll lower this, and then we'll add a little reverb tail. Well, I say a little, but let's put a lot so that we don't hear any. So we could just wash out this ending. Oh, nice. Yeah, you know, I want to do SynthFest. So my goal is, well, is April. April's already done, right? So maybe the next month, because I actually have to practice for live sets again. It's been 2 years. So so yeah, that would be. I mean, I know it's not just a practice area because there are some awesome performances, but man, I'm so out of practice. So yeah, I mean, I always watch the SynthFest, and I dream of doing it one day. But yeah, maybe one of these days. My goal maybe will be May then. You know what? Maybe I'll just sign up, and then that'll force me to just get everything going in my live set. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just adding these like little reverb tails here. It's reverb and delay.
There aren't certain stations in the country with equipment to do that, but even possibly well.
Okay, that's a good little transition. And I probably have to do that here as well. Oh, maybe I don't. Let's see how the bass sounds when I just abruptly stop. Oh yeah. Just add a little bit. Something like that. And then I'm also going to do that with this little mid lead. Oh yeah, please do. I'm on the that Discord server, so look at every so often. Oh, are you the one that's maintaining that website for the Golden Shrimp Guild for Synthfest?
With equipment to do that, but even possibly well.
You know what I even forgot to do was I didn't. That's what we'll do. Oh, that's right. Oh, thanks. I gotta save this set. Last week, the Len VCO witnessed when I crashed my set, and then I did a bunch of stupid things, and then I wasn't able to recover it, even all of the parts that we recorded. So we were at this point where we were starting to put things together, and it just crashed. I did a few stupid things thinking I could recover it faster, and then, yeah, it's all just gone to the ether. But that was my own lesson in saving and saving often. Okay, I think we're done with today's jam. So thank you guys for swinging by. Thanks for the raid, Sander. And yeah, if anybody has any suggestions on who's on right now that I can raid, let me know. I'm gonna do a quick bit of. I'm going to loop this end part right here, and do a bit of light mastering with Ozone, and then we'll record the song all the way through, and then I'll raid someone. So thanks again, and hello. Okay, it's still working. Testing. Okay, good. And then, oh, beta units. Cool. I will raid beta units, so stay tuned for that. But stick around for just a second. I'll play the song all the way through after I do some light mastering. It'll only take, I'll be done in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Aloha. Thank you guys for coming. Thanks for the raid, and it's nice seeing all of you guys. Aloha.
Did you rush Jerry?
Thank you.
In what way, Sonia?
To the captain's plan. He wants to preserve an air of that secrecy about our enemies. And I agree with him that it was advisable.
The impression equipment to do that, but even possibly well.